Welcome to Sisters Scoot, where we are running the big topics from Marvel this week. And we're going to get right into the very first one, which is that the Thunderbolts and the Fantastic Four teams are supposedly going to be playing an integral part to Doomsday, which I like this news, especially for Thunderbolts.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think half of this was expected and half of it is a little bit
Right.
unexpected. I mean, you're
Yeah.
not going to have a Doom-focused film without the Fantastic Four. I have harped on that 1,000 times. Obviously, take a look at any singular Fantastic Four comic, and the odds of you having a Doctor Doom in it are pretty high. So that piece, to me, not really news. But I do think the more interesting piece is the Thunderbolts. I know that's the part you're probably more excited about. Your guys on one team, my guys on the other. But I will say they are an interesting mix to have in Doomsday because it is most likely going to be multiversal. And if Doctor Doom is coming from the Fantastic Four's universe, it has to be multiversal. So for them to kind of be mixed up into all of that when they're going to have a film that seems like it's going to be pretty grounded next week, I do think that that is maybe a little bit more surprising.
I think I kind of echo the sentiment at the beginning. I'm obviously excited about Thunderbolts because I'm impartial, but actually, a lot of it was because, to your point, Fantastic Four is expected.
Yeah.
Everybody knew. I mean, we've talked about, even when it was supposed to be Kang, we were like, we're not really understanding where this is all fitting because the Fantastic Four plays such a big part. I mean, are they going to be in this with Kang now? Like, I think there was a lot of topics about, like, just surrounding that. So I'm not shocked about them for the same reasons. But on the flip side, the Thunderbolts, it's not so much to me because it's multiversal, because I think at this point, everybody's involved because our universes are colliding. Like, you can't, this is no longer Doctor Strange's problem. You know, this is no longer Wong's problem. Wanda, if she's there, if she's a good guy, I never really know. Regardless, it's like not just our mystical people's problems anymore. This is going to affect everybody and anybody. But I do think it's really interesting they're going to play supposedly a more prominent part. Because, I mean, I love the Thunderbolts. I'm excited for the movie. But quite frankly, we have, 4 glorified super soldiers, one person who can phase, somebody who, I don't even think this person is going to make it through the movie, but who can copy everybody's moves. Like, I just don't see in that respect, but I'm intrigued that it makes me more curious to see what role they actually end up playing.
Yeah, exactly. I think just their nature as more grounded heroes, to know that they're not just going to be like in it, but actually like playing potentially a really big part. It's like, well, what role can you play with? I think Yelena even says something similar, like, what are we all going to do? Punch and kick? None of us can even fly. Like, she says it in the Thunderbolts trailer.
Yeah.
So I think like that sentiment like can be taken across to this, where you're going to have, to your point, the Stranges, probably the Wandas, you're going to have the Fantastic Four, like some very high powered individuals from a very mystical and enhanced perspective against,
Right.
not against, but like in comparison to, yes, enhanced, but in a very like much more subtle way, group of individuals.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting, but it's nice news to have.
For sure.
Moving to our next one is kind of just a also nice kind of news to have, I guess. Vision Quest has officially started filming. So I don't really know what else to say about that, because I think we're all still really unsure what this show's about, but it means they have Paul on set and they're doing something.
Yeah, I mean, it actually sounds like it started last month in Atlanta. They were doing some stuff, and now they've moved to, I want to say, Scotland, somewhere in Europe. I'm so sorry, I'm bad with geography, and that's embarrassing. But they are somewhere over in Europe now filming. So that's interesting too, because like I'm not sure how that might play into it. I know a lot of the films though they're kind of splitting their time between Atlanta and London. I think Doomsday is over there filming too. So
Yeah.
you know, that I think makes a lot of sense, but still no idea what the heck this is going to be about, other than it's got to be Tommy's entrance into the MCU. Each parent got a kid slash, you know,
And
our good friend Agatha. Yeah, like I don't know. But I'm excited. I think that filling out and finalizing that trilogy is going to be really fun. I think we all agree the first 2 entries in that kind of mystical trilogy have been really, really strong entries. 2 out of, I would say they both belong in the top 5 in terms of MCU shows that have come out on Disney Plus. So if they keep that same creative team, that same level of kind of rigor, I think we're in for a really good show, kind of regardless of what the actual, plot ends up being, assuming, it's a good plot.
I mean, I don't think they do Paul wrong. And I don't think they would do Vision as a whole wrong, because this is also one of your, at this point, OG characters.
I mean, his voice is in the first Iron Man.
Well, that's what I mean. And I mean, like, yeah. I'm talking about Vision when I say sorta, but to your point, yes. I mean, he has literally been here since the beginning. And yes, RDJ is back. So it's kind of like, did that negate that a little bit? I don't know. But regardless, I mean, Vision as an actual character has been in this universe since Age of Ultron. I mean,
yeah.
If you take out the fact that a lot of the OGs from those first couple years are not here anymore, he has now, just like Bucky, stapled himself up there as one of the longest running characters. So it's kind of like, let's get him in here and let's tell a really good story, because he's different. He's not who we last saw him to be. So I would like to see kind of how that comes around and what story they end up telling and how he wraps back into, the bigger narrative as well.
Oh, totally agree. And again, we're going to get hopefully one of the twins. So that's going to definitely play into some future properties.
For sure. But this last one is my most exciting piece of news that I get to share, and that I've gotten to share in a long time, in my opinion. So obviously, as we had just mentioned, Doomsday has started filming, and there's kind of a 2-pronged thing about this one. First being, they have confirmed they've been starting to film at the X Mansion. So that is super exciting. But on top of that, I know. On top of that, though, we have gotten confirmation that the X-Men will wear their original comic accurate suits in this movie, which is amazing news.
I mean, let's put this into perspective. I was reading this great article that was pointing it out. We've literally never seen the comic accurate suits. The only person who's gotten anything close, well, 2, I would say Professor X in MOM. I mean, the wheelchair was magnificent.
Yeah.
And then obviously Wolverine. Yes. And so,
well, Gambit got it too.
Oh,
although he wasn't in the originals, he did get a comic accurate suit.
That is true. So the 3 of them, basically, since they've come into the MCU, they've gotten better suits. And so now everybody from the OGs is going to get the, correct suits. I mean, I can't wait to see Cyclops in his whole getup.
Oh my gosh.
I can't wait. Gosh. I'm hysterical. I'm so excited.
And I know they haven't confirmed her, but I'm assuming Halle Berry will be back. I want to see her in the White Storm suit. I want to see it so badly. So please give it to us.
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, just the fact that these guys are going to get to go out so on top like this, they really, them and the OG Fantastic Four, Tobey as Spider-Man, they've really, the MCU has benefited from what they were able to do in the early 2000s, kind of getting the ball rolling. I mean, one could argue even Ben Affleck's Daredevil, but on a much larger scale, those 3 properties, I think, really were the ones that did it. Those are the ones that everybody gets excited about. And we got to see in Deadpool and Wolverine kind of the homage to them, but now they're back and they're getting this really exciting treatment where they're getting to do things that they never got to do when they were part of Fox, because who knows why Fox hated their original uniforms, whatever. Anyway, all that to say, MCU has done a really good job with comic accurate suits, both X-Men and without, outside of the X-Men over the years. And so the fact that they're getting this treatment is just the perfect send-off, even though everybody's predicting they're going to die really early on, which I'm not emotionally prepared for.
That would suck, but also it happens. But I mean, in this big of a story, you can't have everything all at once,
I don't disagree. It would be a very interesting catalyst if you have some they die and it's a reason why people fight, or, you just see their universe get completely wiped out, which would be very interesting. And I still don't understand how that ties into the Deadpool universe, because he was in with the McAvoy group, and I'm still not sure if that's the same universe. I watched all the movies and I don't know the answer. So,
We don't need to. We don't need to. It's
that's
fine.
a discussion for a year from now.
Yeah. Either way, I'm excited to see the original suits. This is great news as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
But that has been this week's Sister Scoop. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will be back next week for another round of Marvel news as new things are coming out and big projects are starting to film. So a lot of good news. And on the podcast side, we are doing our Thunderbolts just era right now. So if you haven't gotten your tickets, make sure you're getting your tickets and you're going to the theaters to support the movie. It looks awesome. But we'll be back next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.